Hello everybody, it's Mimberly and welcome back to the channel. Now we are carrying on with the World Underneath Read Through series today. I feel like just sitting here and just reading some lore, so that is exactly what we are going to do. I'm going to quickly load up my screen so I can read it a little bit better. This one I think is about Rafayel, so let's get straight into it. You better shut up or I'm going to smack him. This one is for Talia. On the trellis are emerald-coloured vines. Rafayel holds one of them. Soon this garden, full of exotic plants, will be the place where Talia and her lover will hold their wedding. Not bad. It matches the design of the necklace I gave her. The garden owner, Charles, is a jewellery designer. He enjoys gardening in his spare time and has done conservation work for endangered plants and animals. This is how he had met Rafayel. Choosing flowers is a psychological experience, Charles says. It's a process akin to someone trying to understand another person. Really? Rafayel draws a series of random lines on a sheet of paper. I chose them based on the impression they gave. It doesn't sound as cool. People have also said that giving flowers to a lover is a surefire way to their heart. Charles remembers a girl he caught a glimpse of in Rafayel's photo album. If you ever want to do that, you're welcome to pick any flowers from my garden. Stop reading stuff from those weird articles. Charles shrugs and responds with a helpless smile after being teased. He walks back through a path that's adorned in a faint floral fragrance. When he returns, he hears a conversation between Rafayel and Talia. Are you really not going to attend? It's my wedding. Nope. The aloof artist continues to doodle. His phone is on speaker and his responses are quick and simple. If Charles wasn't doing a commission for Talia's wedding, he would have believed Rafayel. But I finally found someone I like. You said the same thing last time. And how long ago was that? Why are you so stingy with your blessings? I blessed you when you made the pact. Any more would be pointless. What do you mean? Not everyone is as lucky as you. I'm hanging up. Rafayel ends the call and hands the sketch in his hand to the jewelry maker. The once chaotic lines are now an elegant yet fancy bouquet. A pencil may not be able to display any colour or beyond black, but Charles can still imagine the blue that Rafayel chose earlier. He carefully takes the sketch and hands over the necklace design. This is from the pan we previously agreed on. The gemstone is Talia's favourite and matches the colour of her wedding dress. Before he can finish his sentence, they hear Talia's laughter from Rafayel's phone. Rafayel's expression changes when he realizes the call is still going. Talia sounds even happier than before. I knew you wouldn't disappoint me. I'll be waiting. See you then. The call actually ends this time. Charles chuckles and ignores Rafayel's annoyance. There's no point in hiding it if you're going anyway. He points out a few modifications about the gemstone setting to Rafayel. You put a lot of care into the details. I'm sure my plan will be harshly criticized. Rafayel lowers his gaze and doesn't reply. Charles thinks he's maybe thinking about his lover. Sensing that Rafayel has no intention of responding, he changes the conversation topic to the necklace's colour scheme. Okay, so Talia's actually married. Good to know. For some reason I thought she wasn't, but I don't know. Passing through the archway decorated with emerald vines, Rafayel reaches the central fountain. The relaxed atmosphere in the garden makes him sigh, even though it's what he had expected. He picked out 2 suits for today, but after a few minutes he ended up not wearing either. Instead, he chose comfortable, casual clothes suitable for dancing, which turned out to be the best choice. If Rafayel had worn a suit, he would have been teased by Talia, the same person who's wearing a simple dress and dancing barefoot on the grass. He's too plain. If he fell into a pond, let alone the sea, no one would be able to find him. Our Talia is the most dazzling pearl in the ocean. If you can find her, wouldn't you be able to find him too? At a small round table, a group of Lemurians are whispering to each other. Rafayel turns to see a familiar face he hadn't seen since the disaster. He cheerfully plays an ancient Lemurian instrument, a happy melody flowing from his moving fingertips. Thank your friend for me. His garden is beautiful, Talia says to Rafayel after she makes her way through the crowd to him. He was kind to let us hold the ceremony here. Raphael's gaze switches to the man not far away from Talia. He doesn't mind? He likes whatever I like, she says. She spins around in front of him. Her flared skirt twirls, making her look like a graceful, swimming fish. He designed this for me. It's pretty good, right? It suits you, Rafayel chuckles, recalling Charles's words. The process of choosing flowers for someone is also a process of understanding that person. Maybe the same applies to designing clothes. He's silent for a few seconds. He drinks his wine and pushes the empty cup back onto the table. Raymond is dead. Oh, we're going back to that card, okay. Talia takes a deep breath, a smile blooming on her face. Then we can all get a good night's sleep for now. Yeah, for now. She understands the emphasis Rafayel put in his words. Crossing her arms, her gaze wanders over the singing, dancing, and chatting people. Guess you don't want fleeting happiness. Rafayel subtly turns away. To avoid Talia, he inevitably has to look at the guests attending her wedding. Almost all the familiar and unfamiliar Lemurian survivors are present. The music is harmonious and the singing is rich, but every smile seems to be covered with a grey veil. Sorry, I'm moving my leg because my ankle's playing up. Then he hears Talia's melodious voice again. I'm getting married, not because I've forgotten the past, but because I want to live in the present. Look at every Lemurian here. They're all looking for an anchor, a reason to live. I found mine, and others have found theirs, Talia says. Her eyes lock onto Rafayel. But there are still those who don't realize how important it is to have an anchor. Rafayel shakes his head. Lemuria is more important. Lemuria will always be important. Talia puts down her glass, looking serious. But what about you? When your own heart is devouring you, is there anything that can pull you back? Can you really let her go? The light in Raphael's eyes dims at her last question. Rafayel, have you ever thought about your own wedding? He's silent for a while, and then he just takes off the boutonniere from his chest, places it on the table, and turns to leave the bustling scenery that doesn't belong to him. No. How ironic that we ended up having a wedding banner. Freedom, happiness, and rebirth. Charles hangs the shovel back on the tool board, nodding at the light yellow gardenia Rafayel has been staring at. That's what it means in the language of flowers. Are you giving it to someone? A relative's daughter. Or relative English. A relative's daughter. Rafayel stands under the courtyard door's eaves, tilting his head to observe the flower petals. Can you tell me what it means again? People believe it represents freedom, happiness, and rebirth. I highly recommend it for the opening ceremony for the school year or like a birthday party. I'll take it. Rafayel returns the sample to Charles and walks past him. Help me arrange a bouquet. I'll take it to her funeral. Oh. Her father can no longer give her flowers. Funeral? Charles stops counting his tools and makes a mistake on his paper. Wouldn't that be a bit... It's fine, Rafayel says. Based on what you told me, it's suitable for a funeral too. Rafayel crosses the courtyard as it's bathed in a golden glow. He walks through the corridor where Raymond's glorious deeds are being played on a loop on a digital screen. Then he arrives at Raymond's house. Raymond's funeral is being held in the living room. At the entrance, the butler mechanically takes the coalescence money from the mourners. He looks stiffly and professionally ahead until Rafayel passes him. He narrows his eyes and quickly sizes Rafayel up, seemingly surprised by his presence. Rafayel ignores these malicious glances and walks straight to the center of the hall where the glass fish tank is placed. He pauses for a second or two in front of the mermaid skeleton inside, and then turns to Raymond's coffin and stands with the others. Mom, this is so boring. We were supposed to be on vacation in the Arctic. The child's voice nearly echoes clearly in the hall. Her innocent comment makes the parent cover the brat's mouth in embarrassment, quickly returning to a sorrowful expression after flashing an apologetic smile. After all, she had yet to secure the inheritance she wanted. When it's Raphael's turn to mourn, he steps forward. He leans over the coffin and places the carefully selected garnias on it, making sure its most beautiful side faces the fish tank. In the midst of all the black and white, this bright yellow bouquet is the only burst of colour. He clasps his hands together and closes his eyes. At a barely noticeable angle, he aligns himself with the bouquet, silently reciting an analogy. A familiar song begins. Talia stands at the very front of the hall, singing a dirge. Raphael opens his eyes. The dazzling sunlight passes through the fish tank, and the skeleton inside silently gazes at the sky in a forever frozen pose. He knows who Talia is singing for, just as she knows who Raphael came here for. "Murderer! You murderer!" As Raphael is about to leave, an elderly woman suddenly rushes through the crowd. She rushes out the hall, pointing at his retreating figure and screaming at the top of her lungs. "My boy was only 39. It was supposed to be a time for rebirth, a fresh start. But he died because of a stupid, frivolous painter. A painting that doesn't make any sense. Raphael, you killed my son." Like sharks smelling blood in the water, the reporter's cameras instantly surround him. The mourners in the darkened hall look on, excited, yet they also carry the right amount of regret. No one steps forward to intervene. The child, who wants to go to the Arctic on vacation, watches with interest, standing on her tiptoes to take a lollipop from her mother. How sad. With her son dead, the anchor that held her up was taken by a dark tide. Raphael calmly looks around the room full of cameras and leaves. Another week passes. Raphael slips away from his uninspiring new work, and Thomas repeated nagging to visit Talia in a small house in Verona. Talia is admiring a dress. It's one among countless other dresses that her new husband had designed for her. It's entirely black with just a stroke of white. Talia points at the black part of the dress. He said, "This is him," and then she points at the white, "and this is me. What do you think? Interesting, right?" Raphael pours himself a glass of water and takes a sip without looking. Has he ever designed a wedding dress? "What do you mean?" Talia raises an eyebrow, and then she smiles. "No, but if you want to commission him, I can help you get a family discount." When Raphael leaves, Talia tosses him a small bouquet of flowers. He turns and catches them. "I wanted to toss the bouquet to you that day, but you left early. This is what I had left." Raphael looks down at his hand. An unknown flower sits in his palm, reminding him of someone. On his way back, he sees many familiar faces among the Verona street performers. Those people stand amidst music, colour, and dancing bubbles. They smile at him. Raphael remembers what Talia said at the wedding. Everyone was looking for an anchor. It's why they're still here. He waves back, hoping they can make their dream come true. And then he turns around and goes home. "Are you tired from painting? You don't look so good." Charles wraps up the fiery flame lilies Raphael chose and hands them over. Flame lilies on the wedding banner? Gosh. I've lost where I was. Are these also a gift? I think they suit you more. Great. Raphael takes the bouquet. I'm thinking of giving them to someone. Are you giving yourself away? Raphael never mentioned it, but Charles had a hunch a long time ago. There must be someone in his heart that he didn't want to mention. My garden is always open to you. He pats Raphael's shoulder and then sees him and his flame lilies off. The flowers are light, their weight in his hand almost non-existent. He walks for a long time after leaving the garden, but he still hasn't decided whether or not he should give this bouquet away. He hasn't come up with a good excuse either. When your own heart is devouring you, is there anything that can pull you back? He remembers the question Talia once asked and avoids the underlying meaning. Can this flame lily bouquet become his anchor? He's not sure. Under the night sky, the black waves haven't fully rolled in. For now, he still has a chance to get a good night's sleep. Until he must face a never-ending tsunami in his dreams, alone. Hot damn. So from what I'm understanding, you guys can correct me in the comments if I've misunderstood this, but this is obviously before Raphael met up with MC in the current timeline. And, you know, when he was mentioning the flame spider lilies, if you look back to his suit from the wedding banner, he has fire lilies on there. Like, I've got a tattoo of one right there. I've got a spider lily there. So it's there's definitely a lot of references, and I feel like I would have probably looked over this had I'd read this before playing through the Witnessed by Deepspace banner, which was obviously the wedding banner, but we had a few, I want to say it was about a month or two ago now. But that was really interesting. It's nice that we've had someone different for a change as well, because obviously we've had Zane the last two. I wonder if it's going to be like 2 Zane, 2 Rafayel, 2 Savior. We'll find out, but I can tell you for a fact, if these stories really do open up a lot more behind the scenes content, and I really do wish that I see more people reading them and reacting to them and sharing their thoughts, because I think this is a good point for you guys to communicate as well. Like, is there anything there that you've noticed that I've not picked up on and things like that? And yeah, are you looking forward to the next one? Because I certainly am now. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this, make sure you give the video a like, and there is now a hype function, so if you really enjoyed the video, make sure you hype it, because any points that you give me do help me get discovered by other people, so we can continue to grow this family, and maybe one day we can make this a full-time career. Who knows? But anyway, on that note, I'm going to leave you guys to it. Have a beautiful day, have a happy time zone, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Bye.